Alrighty, folks. Thanks for clicking on the video. James Cards FC here. Today I'm here with Andre or Soccer Study, and we'll be going through a tiers list, and we'll be debating and putting together a tiers list of all the modern products, or at least 25 of probably the most known modern products out there in the soccer card market. Important to note that this list will not be including any super high-end sets, so there's no Flawless, no Eminence, no Immaculate, no National Treasures, no Noir. Those sorts of brands I would do in a completely separate tier list because I don't really compare them. Those boxes cost $20,000, $10,000. These boxes cost a few hundred or maybe 1,000 or a couple thousand at the most. So I don't think it's really fair to compare those together, but we will be comparing the mid or lower end of the market in this video in terms of modern products. And so I thought it'd be great to bring Andre along, as he is now becoming the expert on all things modern products. But if people don't know Andre Soccer Study, you can go ahead and introduce yourself as well, but I'm sure people know of you.
Well, hey guys, well, thank you for having me on the channel, James. It's a pleasure. I know you end up joking about that, and it's true. I don't know that much about modern as you probably, but it's a market that I've been engaging a bit more recently, so yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be fun to go through, and we'll share our opinions on all these different sets. And of course, no financial advice. These will just be our general opinions, and we'll go through them one by one here in this image list that I have set up here. So we'll go ahead and start off with the first one. These are in no particular order. It's just the way the image were uploaded into the tiers list. So we'll go ahead and start with Obsidian first. This is a Panini release that has been coming out since 2019. It's like mid-high end. There's some really low-numbered stuff. I personally would put this in either the decent or good tier. I think it's a decent product, but not many people talk about it all that much. There's some interesting parallels, but I'd love to hear your thoughts about it.
Yeah, I was looking at the list, and I thought Obsidian would be actually one of the most difficult ones to rank, because I honestly don't know. There is a lot of things I like about Obsidian. I think the set looks nice overall. I also think there is a lot of stuff going on the set. There is a lot of crazy parallels, but there is two. I'm not sure if I guess I can call that a parallel, right? In the set that I love. I love the red flood, and I also love the contra. It's basically the white flood. That makes sense.
It's the full color background cards.
Yeah, I think those two parallels are some of the best looking cards in modern, honestly. I really like them. And I believe you also saw on PLCC, they are starting selling for good amounts of money, the white cards. So because of that, I may put good, honestly, but yeah, I like good, but you can decide on this one. On being honest,
we'll start it off in the good tier, and then obviously as we go through, we can start adjusting things. But specifically, like you said, I think the red flood and the contra parallels are really nice, and that sort of makes up for the rest of the set being a little bit of a mess.
No, yeah, I love the white, but the red floods, I really love the look of them. I mean, I think they are beautiful cards.
Yeah, especially when the colors match. Like the Musiala one, I think, is my favorite looking modern card.
No, even Antony is such a beautiful card. If you have also Ronaldo with the Portugal jersey, also looks insane.
Yep.
But even when the color does not match, so I bought recently a Messi, and I also think is a beautiful card. I think the red flood, maybe because of the PMG type of look, I don't know, is a really nice card.
Yeah, you heard it here first. The Obsidian Floods are the PMGs of soccer. Exactly. Alrighty, so we'll start off with Obsidian and good, and we'll move on to Chronicles. Now, if you thought Obsidian was a bit of a mess, Chronicles as a set is a mess because it's just a collection of smaller sets that all come together to make one big set. In my opinion, this is a decent set. I don't think it's trash because there are some rookie sets that people like the rookie tickets, and there's some low-numbered rookies. And you can get interesting things like there's a Messi Prism in a Barcelona kit because of Chronicles. So there's a few interesting cards in here, but the set is such a mess that I don't think you can put it in any other tier but just decent.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think it's similar to Obsidian to a certain level, if that makes sense. for example, the first year is quite different than the second, right? Because in the second they started putting Prism.
Yeah, there's
So,
each
you
year
know,
they've added on
that's
more sets. Yeah.
yeah, but you know, it's almost in the second year they went to a different level almost, because if they associate the Prism brand, the set automatic becomes much more. But in the first year there is the rookie tickets, right?
Yes.
Yeah, those cards are nice, especially the what's the name of
The cracked ice out of 23.
those cards are really, really beautiful. So those cards are top tier in terms of eye appeal, being honest. But I think decent. But I think Obsidian and maybe they are more close, you know. But yeah, decent. I would agree.
Yeah, I think they're close. I think Obsidian is a little bit better because the Chronicles set is usually paper. Now they put Prism in a few of them, but the Obsidian card stock is just a more premium card.
But James, the second year is paper or is totally Prism? Because I actually don't know. I know that there is Prism cards. Oh, it depends.
Yeah, it depends. So they have both.
Okay.
It's a bit of a mess. Alrighty, and then we'll move forward into Score, which is a newer product that started coming out last year. I believe, yes, that this is trash. I will say there are some interesting rookies in it. For example, Cody Gakpo, before he became trash at Liverpool, had his first rookie, and it's his only release in 2020, I think, is in that set. So since not a lot of the clubs that are in this end up being in Score, there's some interesting opportunities, but the fact that it's all paper and no one seems to care about it, I think it's trash.
I mean, I honestly don't even think the cards look that bad. I was looking at but I mean, no one cares. So
yeah, that's the big problem. Alrighty, then we move on to Deco, which is a set that started coming out either last year or the year before that. But this year, it's really popular right now because of the fact that it's the only place you can get like Mudryk or Garnacho or guys like that. Their only rookies out right now are out in this set. So right now, it has some like talked about stuff in the hobby, but in my opinion, I don't think this set is going to hold any value just because it's so random. And as the bigger products come out, they usually get replaced in terms of their meaningfulness. So I don't really like this set, but I don't know what your opinions are on it.
Yeah, honestly, maybe not sure because I don't know a lot about the set. But yeah. Deck was a great player, but I'm not sure if this is a great set.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. It's named after a player that was okay.
I may put on trash, to be honest, but I could be wrong on this.
Yeah,
maybe. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I just worry that specifically if you're buying this product because the Garnacho and Mudryk only have Deco cards so far, I think that's a huge mistake because obviously when some of these other sets come out for those guys, those cards are going to drop like a rock. So I just really worry about people spending a lot of money on this set in particular.
No, yeah. Again, I'm open-minded to in the future see this go to decent or something, but for now, I don't feel comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we have Panini Adrenalyn, which I think we both agree is probably trash in terms of like investment sort of collecting. But if you're just buying some cards, I think there's some interesting Adrenalyns where you can get a first appearance or something like that.
Yeah, this is a tricky one because, and you also have match attacks because
yes.
I mean it's so
we
difficult.
can do these both together just because they're the same product just for different companies.
It's difficult to rank this type of stuff because they are different products, you know. They are just they are a part of a game, so it's. I think as a game they are probably good or god tier. Honestly, if you just look at the aspect of the game, and they have been doing so much, and they do a lot of success in Europe. As a collector product, I don't think they are the best, especially because they are mass produced. Nowadays, they have some numbered cards, even autos, etc. I would say one thing, and I know this is a crazy take, but I would not be shocked if certain Adrenalyns and Match Attax cards get increase a lot in value over the years, especially the first sets. Again, nostalgia is a bit overrated, but the reality is a lot of kids, they will have nostalgia for these two products, not for Especially, again, talking more about the Europeans, not for Topps Chrome or Prism. So I would say probably they should go into trash, but they are a different type of trash, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. And like you said, if you go on YouTube and you look up like box breaks for these products, they have so many views because it is so popular in Europe to have these products. So from that perspective, they're popular, but are they good for like investing or anything like that? I would say no, but there might be some exceptions. Like
Yeah.
Mbappe has Monaco kit cards, or maybe the first ones with Messi and Attax or Adrenalyn, stuff like that probably makes a bit of sense.
Yeah, I just think the Adrenalyn and Match Attacks is trash or God tier. It really depends on how you want to value things. Because if you just look for the reason they end up being made, I think they are God tier. You know, they are a tremendous success. People love them. They have collectability. But yeah, investing gets a bit more tricky for them. But again, I'm fine with them being on trash, but they are a different type of trash.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Another product that probably isn't talked about that much is Topps Crystal, but I know people used to talk about it a lot because Holland does have a Salzburg rookie card in it. I don't like this product that much because
is it trash?
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
We don't have to talk too much about it. It's just not a good product.
No, move on. that's
right.
Nothing to say.
And then we have Donruss, which includes Donruss Optic because they come out in the same set. The Optic cards are just the better cards in the set. I personally think this is a good set, specifically because of the lineage and the rated rookies, and people really seem to like this set. In 2018 specifically, it has the Optic cards, which people really like, especially some of the parallels. And so from that perspective, Donruss is also a very respected brand in baseball as well. So I like the lineage of it as well. I think it's a good brand and a good product.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a difficult one for me because I hate Donruss and I hate Optic. But I know this is just, I understand. I think your take is much better than mine on this one. But in 2019, early 2020, when I started getting more deep into the soccer card market, I don't know, I always thought Donruss was for people that could not afford Prism or Topps Chrome. You know, I always had that was something that was so strong in my mind that even today I understand is not like that exactly, but I don't like the product. I would put on trash, and this is a very hot take. But no, but I think you are much more aware of the quality of the product than me. So I think good is probably correct.
Yeah, I will say you're right in that, especially in other sports, it's seen as a secondary brand to both Prism and Chrome if there was Chrome. So it's not on that level at all, but it's usually the one that's right underneath those, at least in other sports.
No, okay, that's fine. Again, I just don't. If this was personal preference, this will be below. But with your arguments, I can see being good, decent for sure.
Yeah. Then we're gonna do a product I think you like quite a bit more. It'd be Topps Finest. I'm not sure where you stand on putting it between God tier and good. The problem for me is just that we have products like Prism and Chrome, so I would put those above them. But if there was like a halfway tier, I think it'd be in there.
Okay, one thing. Yeah. In modern, I Panini as a brand I like quite more than Topps in general. Mm-hmm. But in general, I'm talking about because I also collect vintage and pre-modern, and of course Panini is huge there. But in modern, I don't know. I like the Topps product quite a bit more. For example, I guess maybe I'm saying something crazy right now, but I guess Topps Finest could be compared to Donruss or Optic, and I think Topps Finest, in terms of being alternative to, for example, Topps Chrome, you have Topps Finest is probably a cheaper alternative. I just think Topps Finest is an amazing product. You know, maybe not God tier, but good for sure. I mean, if Obsidian is good, Topps Finest is, yeah. Now that makes me rethink Obsidian if I'm putting Topps Finest in the same level.
Yeah. So like you said, the tricky part is that Oh, we might as well already just move the Topps Chrome up here because we both understand that this is probably the god tier product, and this is a derivative version of Topps Chrome, so it automatically is beneath it. But yeah, in terms of where it ranks, I think it's just right underneath it in terms of the rest of the products.
Just one thing. The thing I really like about Topps Finest is I agree that Topps Chrome in general is a better. All of this is very relative, let's be real. But in general, it seems people tend to look at Topps Chrome as the better product. But I think Topps Finest makes a unique product in their own, because if you look at the inserts, they have amazing inserts. Some of the best inserts for me in the soccer card market are from Topps Finest. For example, I love the Prized Footballers. I think it's one of the coolest inserts they made, especially because it relates with the Champions League, with the logo on the background. They also have another insert that I think is really cool is Masters. Are you aware of Topps Finest, the Masters insert? So I like Topps. I like Topps Finest quite a lot. For me, I could see myself putting Finest in God tier, but I think would be unfair in the sense that actually this is another thing. Is Topps Finest does not get a lot of respect in soccer for some reason.
Correct. Yes. I
think some people may put decent Topps Finest, but yeah, I think good is okay, but is a set that I actually think is quite nice.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's in between these two tiers. Definitely more, in my opinion, than Optic is. Like when I rank them like this, I would say Finest is ahead of Donruss or Optic, and I definitely think that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Alrighty, then we move on to Gold Standard, which is kind of a weird in-between mid to high-end product that Panini puts out. It has some on-card autos, and it has some sticker autos. It has some match worn stuff, some non-match worn stuff. I just think this is a decent mid to high end product. Not a lot of people really are looking for Gold Standard, but I don't think it's necessarily trash.
Yeah, the first thing I think when I look at this set is the one card auto for Messi, because it's actually one of the most obtainable Messi on card autos. If you want, it's still expensive, but if you want to have on card auto, it's probably the one that most of us can afford, if that makes sense. Yes. And I think is a nice card, actually, especially with this gold mania. Maybe there is something there. But I don't know how to rank this one. So I trust your opinion on this. If it was me, I would put not sure. This is the type of one I would put really not sure, because I don't know how to evaluate the gold set that well.
Yeah, it's just not all that popular, but it is a mid to high end set. You don't, yeah, I mean, I think you would understand better where to put it if people talked about it more, which they just don't. Yeah,
I saw, this was kind of random, to be honest, but I saw a couple of sales in other sports in this set, and it was quite expensive, at least I thought. So maybe this set is actually quite respected even in other sports. I don't know. That's why I'm saying not sure.
Yeah, in basketball, it's somewhat popular. I would say it depends on the year. If you go back far enough, there's some nice rookie patch autos for it. But obviously in soccer, they just don't have that sort of an insert.
No, that's fine. This is a difficult one now.
Yeah, and Inception is difficult. So, for example, I think it's a good product, but I don't think it's like these two products here. So for that reason, it's either at the very front of the decent list or at the very end of the good list, in my opinion. The problem is you don't really see it a lot. People don't talk about it a lot, but depending on where you're looking, these cards can be really expensive, depending on which ones they are, of course.
They have And I would say one thing for Inception, the Messi card is an amazing card. The perfect
the first 10. Messi, right? The Barcelona one.
That's a sick card. I really love that card.
Yeah.
But then you also, so actually I was doing some research for this set. The Messi card is above all the others by a large margin. If you try to buy Ronaldo, Mbappe, Neymar, the other big stars on the set, I mean, I'm not. Cheap is always something relative, right? But they are not comparable with Messi. I guess you can say
even the Musiala rookie is only like $30 or $40, where that Messi base card is like 100, 120.
Yeah, I think people really like the Messi card, which I don't, I mean, I get it because I appealing at the end of the day, we all collect because of that, but I may put on decent, honestly. I'm not sure about good. I think because I think, put this way, if that Messi card was not in the set, would this set be good? I don't think so.
Probably not, no. But I do think the latest release, though, when they have the Xavi and Iniesta and they have the
Okay,
Beckenbauer and Lewandowski cards, I think those are really, really cool.
okay.
But
No,
it's
no.
just a new thing they started doing this year.
Okay, but you are no. That's okay, but that's big.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
I think if they
that's big.
continue to do those with 2 players or 4 players that we don't usually see signing together, I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure. Maybe good is correct because that Xavi and Iniesta is of all time.
Yeah, that card is amazing, and there's a few of them. I think there's a Modric and Kroos one, I think, as well. There's some crazy dual autos in the new set.
No, it's a tricky product, honestly. I don't know. I mean, do I like Inception more than Obsidian?
I like
I don't
certain
know.
cards in Inception.
I don't know. Yeah, but I also love the red and the contrast. I don't know.
I think it's more on this level.
Yeah. I agree.
Alrighty, then we move on to Merlin Heritage tops. This is not tops Merlin Chrome. This is tops Merlin Heritage, which is the portrait shots that look like the old stickers. In my opinion, I'm not sure where to rank this because it's so different from all the rest of the modern product. And I don't follow its market too much, but I know some people really enjoy it. Other people just don't like it because it looks like stickers and it's more paper-based. So I'm just not really sure how it relates to all these other products.
Yeah, this is a difficult one. I also think the first release made much more success than the second, for example.
Even the third, I don't hear people talking about it at all right now.
Yeah, but I thought when I remember when this product came out, I saw a lot of people talking about this set, and it was a nice throwback to pre-modern. I like it because I'm a pre-modern collector also. I love the portrait, the headshot type of photos. I think they are sick. Another good thing that I like about this set is a very easy set to understand. You have
very short print too.
Very short print, not a lot of parallels. You don't have the bubble stuff. I would put decent, but I think not sure. But decent then putting in the same level as Inception seems a bit too much.
Yeah, I don't think it's on the level of Inception or Obsidian. I just think it's really unique, and I'm not sure where it's going to end up going. Either I think it's one of those, either the market's going to really take to it or they're just going to ignore it.
But okay, but yeah, that's a good point. It's a unique set at the end of the day, because it's a throwback to the past. They do photos in a very particular way. So, for example, Obsidian could learn something from this set because Obsidian is all over the place. Chronicles is all over the place. At least Heritage does one thing, and I kind of like that. But I agree, not sure this is fine.
Yeah. Then we move to a product that definitely knows what it is, and it comes out pretty much every year now. It's the Panini Mosaic set. I think the cards look really nice. They come out for a bunch of different leagues, but it depends on how you want to value them in terms of how good they are. I personally think it's a good set, not on the level of these two, so sort of on the back of the good list. I think it's above these ones right here, but I don't think it's anywhere close to Topps Chrome, and I don't think it's above either of these two.
Oh no! Hey, that's really difficult. I would put decent,
but I would think of the decent. I think I would put it in the front.
I don't know. I maybe I don't like Mosaic that much, but
that could be it. Yeah.
But yeah, the thing with Mosaic is the cards. They all look kind of similar, and I don't know. Even
there's a few parallels that look very nice, and I think there's a few where the colors don't make any sense.
Yeah. I always thought, to being honest, that Mosaic was a very overrated set in general. But
I think it depends on how much people price it for. I think it's gotten significantly cheaper than it used to be.
Honestly, this just shows what I was saying. Panini in modern, apart from Prism, I really don't see them making I don't know. I think tops have their stuff, in very in line of what people like in general. But it's up to you. I think decent and good probably makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in between there. I think it probably makes more sense to be towards the front of the decent than it does to be in the good tier, because I don't think it's on the level of these two.
Another thing that, and I was thinking about this the other day, that I like about tops is the fact that the gold parallel is out of 50. That makes collectability strong for that set automatic, in my opinion, because when the out of 10, when the gold is out of 10, that's automatic. A card for most of us will be impossible. So I really think finest have a nice, not finest, tops in general, but finest also have a nice balance of things.
Yeah. Speaking of the Tox product, this is actually one that I don't like. This is Museum Collection. It's another one of those fringe mid to high end products where they have sticker autos and patches that don't come from anything. They're just random patches. So in my opinion, this is either towards the end of decent or I just completely ignore it. But I know some people do enjoy it, so I would put it probably somewhere in the decent tier.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's fine. It's kind of crazy because I like Heritage more than I like Museum, but I know most people probably don't agree with that. But yeah, I agree. I think, Museum is not my main choice by any means when it comes to. So I always look at my eBay searches because in general I just collect Messi and Ronaldo in modern, and I'm always looking for numbered cards for them. But Museum is not on my searches. So.
Yeah, the parallels for it just aren't there.
Yeah, but again, there is. I also think the design is kind of unique in certain, so there is something positive about.
Yeah, if the autos were on card or the patches were actually match worn or something like that, I would have a completely different opinion of it. But since neither of those are true, it just doesn't do anything for me.
No, I agree.
Then we have Panini Prism, which I think if we're talking about the World Cup one specifically, I think this is on the God tier along with Topps Chrome. Obviously, 2014 Prism or World Cup Prism, we all understand how important that is for the soccer market. So yeah, I would put this pretty much hand in hand with Topps Chrome.
No, I agree. I would say one thing: Topps Chrome and Prism. For example, Topps Chrome. If you are talking about the last two sets, I'm not sure about if they are God tier, but in general, and even Prism, I think the 2014 is still the one that they really did an amazing job. Nowadays they have a lot of parallels that I also don't like, but again, Topps Chrome and Prism are the best of the best.
Yeah, I'm more referring to the earlier versions of these releases. You say, with Topps Chrome, I think if you go 2019 and later, I don't like it nearly as much because there's more parallels and there's more Topps Chrome derivative sets. Prism as well, the further you get, the more parallels and the more times it gets released. Now we have a Premier League exclusive Prism and all this other stuff. So I would be sticking to the older ones, but in terms of brands, I think these are the best we have.
I agree.
Then we have Revolution. This is a set that came out once in 2017, and maybe it's come out a couple times since then. People don't really talk about it that much. It has some interesting looking cards. I think it's decent, but I'm not sure what your opinions are on it.
No, but Revolution, I believe there is a Premier League Revolution.
Yeah, there's a new Premier League one. You're correct, yes.
I don't know. I would not put good, that I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't think it's up there.
Decent. I kind of think Revolution for me is like Heritage. For example, the Galactic Parallels, I know people love them.
Especially in other sports, yes.
Yeah, especially in other sports. So maybe there is something there. But
my problem with Revolution is all the parallels look exactly the same. At least on scans, you can't tell the difference between any of them.
I really, again, maybe there is someone from Topps or Panini watching this video by a very small chance, but man, I think a lot of these products, they all have the same problem. A lot of these sets, they all have the same problem. Is they should make things a little bit more clear. You know what? These are the base cards. Then you have 4 colors or 5 colors. Then there is 2 inserts, something that is very easy to collect. For example, I think Prism did that very well in 2014. I think Topps Chrome also did a nice job in 2017. And that's one of the reasons, of course, they are historical sets, but that's one of the reasons they also had so much success when they end up coming, not when they end up coming out, but when the market end up expanding a bit more. And the Revolution, all the cards look nice. A numbered card and the base card is the same thing,
Yeah, especially on scans where you can't see what the refractors look like or anything.
Yeah, because Revolution adds some potential, to be honest. If Revolution, the base card was clear and then the inserts card, because the numbered cards, they are actually nice in terms of eye appealing, honestly. But I think not sure it's fine.
Yeah, I just have I just recently had or I bought a messy one, both a base one and one numbered out of 100, and they look very, very similar to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty. Then we have Topps Chrome Sapphire Edition, which came out in 2019 first, and is now pretty much being pushed as the version of Topps Chrome that you actually want. It's the premium version of Topps Chrome. So for that reason, I think it's in the end of this god tier. Obviously, it's not the brand that these two are, but since Topps Chrome is now no longer the best version of Topps, and this is now at least what we think is the best version of Topps, I think it's sort of up here. For me, it's either at the end of this or at the front of this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably. I think Sapphire looks nice. I don't know, in soccer, when you talk about the 2017 Topps Chrome and when you talk about the 2019 Sapphire, is not even comparable. That's why it's so difficult to put Sapphire in God tier. But you can be correct on that one. I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's on. If you specifically say like 2017 and 2014, I don't think 2019 is anywhere near that. But currently, this is definitely the one I would prefer to buy over this one.
No, makes sense.
Alrighty. Then we have Panini Select. This product comes out in a million different variations every single year. I don't think it's trash. But no, I don't think it's anything better than just decent.
Man, Select is a difficult one also, right? Because it's another set that it's too much again. Too much stuff, honestly. They should make the set quite clear. It's crazy that you have national team cards with club. Just that's a bit of a mess, honestly.
Yeah,
but in the other end,
in a ton of different ways.
Yeah, but in the other end, I always look at that set like the next best thing after Prism. At least I thought that was the case. So for me, it's also a bit weird to see Select below Donruss, because I always had Select a bit over Donruss, but
so maybe in like basketball, for example, Donruss Optic is currently above Select, but they're pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's fine, decent. Yeah, decent is fine.
Yeah. Then we move forward to Topps Stadium Club Chrome. This is the set that people really like the photos from, but other than that, I don't really hear much about it. Just the main drawing point of the set is that the photos look really nice and it came out recently. In my opinion, I think this is a good set. I don't think it's a Topps Finest level set or a Topps Sapphire level set. Probably more equivalent to like a Donruss Optic type set, but I like it. I don't love it.
Yeah, the Topps Stadium is a difficult one to rank, honestly. Because you are putting in good, but do you think in general the market likes Stadium more than they like Obsidian, for example? Because I'm not sure about that.
That's a good question, actually. I think I definitely hear people talking about Stadium Club Chrome more, I think. But I do see the Obsidian cards quite a bit.
I don't know. I think I like it a lot, by the way. I think it's actually a nice product. But I think decent again,
I think of the decents, I would much prefer this over most of these other ones.
I think at the end, probably we should push one or two too good of the decent, But for now, I
Yeah.
think it's fair to put this, and then we take a look again.
Yep. Alrighty, then we have tier 1, which just comes out for Bundesliga. It is basically museum collection, but just not called museum collection is how I would sort of say it, and it only comes out for Bundesliga. I would put it in not sure just because it only comes out for one league and absolutely nobody talks about it. So I don't really know how I would rank that.
Yeah, I would put trash on that one.
I think it's between those two.
I don't know. The thing that is important to make clear is there will be great cards even in trash sets, by the way, but this is macro take.
Yeah. The problem I have with tier 1 is even the crazy cards. So like there's a 1-of-1, I think it's on eBay or I've seen it on eBay, where it's Alphonso Davies with the full Bayern Munich logo patch, but the patch is not real. It's just it's from any event, game, or season or whatever it's called. So they literally just took it like off a store-bought jersey or something. So even the 1-of-1s are just not real.
Yeah, and it's a set that I don't know a lot also. So yeah, let's keep it not sure, I guess.
Yeah. Then we move into Topps Merlin or Topps Chrome Merlin. This is also one of the newer Topps offshoots. I think this is higher than Stadium, at least in my opinion, and I think it's a good product.
I agree. That's a good set for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because I think of these new products that we all have, we are since 2019-20. I think people love Topps Merlin. Now, I could be wrong on this one, but at least is the idea, seeing breakers, etc. I think Topps Merlin is a product that I like it, and I think a lot of people also like the set.
Yeah, I think so as well, and it's like you say, it's an easier parallel set to track. Now there are a lot of parallels, but they make sense. There's not a bunch of random ones or anything like that. It's all colors that are pretty easy to follow, and there's no I mean, now this year you have the inserts with like the Champions League ball and that sort of stuff, which I don't necessarily like, but in general it's pretty easy to understand.
No, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Then we move to Topps now. In my opinion, look, a lot of these cards are trash. Like a lot of the Topps Now cards are trash. There are very, very few that I think are really good. For example, there's the Erling Haaland one where he's at Salzburg, where the print run's only like 100 something. There's actually a Giovanni Reina one from 2019 that has like a 40 something print run. So I've never even seen the card, but I know it's out there. The Makoko one's obviously trash. It has 44,000 print. The Jude Bellingham one's pretty trash. It has like 10-20,000 print. So I would say on the vast majority of these cards, they are trash, but there are some that are really nice. And I do like that in the newer ones, there are parallels, but even those are pretty hard to hit. And it depends on what it is. The problem is, even if you have a parallel that's out of 10 or out of 99, people are going to prefer the parallels from all these other sets a lot more, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that in general. I think the Haaland card is an amazing one. I actually think if people are looking for a Haaland rookie, I think that's a solid choice in general. I actually love the photo on that card. I also like the Messi and Ronaldo card that they are together.
That one's very short print as well, yes.
I also love the Musiala have a rookie card on Topps Now that I also think is quite nice, but yeah, it's trash. It's not great, especially because it's not even a set. It's a product that is printed on the. It's a bit different, so I think trash. But there is some cards that they are nice.
Yeah, but like I said, the problem is the vast majority of these I would just be completely avoiding. Like any of the Holland Bundesliga rookies, I would completely avoid those. Jude Bellingham stuff I would completely avoid. So I think it's tricky from that perspective, but there are some nice ones.
I agree.
Then we have I put the Dortmund Chrome set, but this is just to talk about all of the Topps Chrome sets. These come out for, it depends on the club, but it's either a few $1,000s a box, or it can be really, really expensive in the case of PSG, but you get the full team of Chrome cards, and then you get a full team of auto cards. I think this is decent depending on the team and the year, but I don't think that people value these, depending on what it is, above these sets, unless you're talking about the on-card autos and they have to be rookies. So it's tricky to value these in comparison to some of these other ones, but I do think there's some reason to like this set.
Yeah, if this, I actually thought this was top scrum Bundesliga. You know, I thought that was
Oh
the
yeah,
reason.
I would put that with Top Scrum as well. I think they're the same thing.
Okay,
Like Top Scrum Bundesliga, Top Scrum UCL. I think those are pretty much the
okay.
same.
Yeah, decent. Not sure for me. Is fine.
Actually, I think not sure might be better just because we don't really know how people are going to value these. Besides the auto cards that are in the set, the normal base cards, I have no idea how people are going to value those in comparison to some of these other sets.
And I also think it depends on the club, you know, because you have the PSG set. Maybe that set is good for a lot of people, you know, even though I don't care a lot about that set. But let's say they make a top scrum for I don't know.
Oh, there's one for Atletico. There's one for Atletico.
Exactly, for Athletic, you know, that's kind of whatever, you know. But for PSG, since there is Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, could be good. Yeah. So I'm not sure makes sense.
Alrighty, then we get into the one that everybody wants to talk about, right? This is Panini Treble. Both of us have probably talked about this a pretty significant amount. But yeah, in my opinion, obviously it's not a god tier set, and I think it's between either. Honestly, I think it's either between not sure or the fringe end of good, just because it only came out once. Which makes it in itself hard to evaluate. Oops, it's stuck in trash. People can take your screenshots now that I put it there by accident. But yeah, since it only came out once and it's such a short print run, it can be hard to evaluate and figure out where it's going to line up. But I really do like the fundamentals. The cards look really nice. And it just depends on what you want to make of all the narratives that surround
it. So difficult to This one it's really difficult because again it's just one-time product, at least for now. So automatic gets tricky, you know, because the other sets we can evaluate a bit more. I think Panini Travel as a set is a great set. Honestly, I really think it's a great product. I would put in good, to be honest. But
I said, in my opinion, it's either between good or not sure. I know it's not up here, and I know it's not down here.
Yeah, because it's tricky to compare Treble with Sapphire, you know, because, I mean, Sapphire is a product that comes every year now. Have so much history in other sports at this point, and the Treble that does not have any of that.
That's the other thing about Treble is no other sport has it.
But that's also a plus, you know, because it's at least something for us, for the soccer collectors. We don't need to have products just because they are popular in basketball or baseball or whatever. I mean, they can make unique products for us. Looking at market, I mean, makes sense to be good because travel cards are quite expensive. Especially the variations, but could be good or not sure. For me, it's good, but I also get if people put not sure. I get if they put decent trash. At the end of the day, is a matter of opinion. But for me, it's good.
Yeah, I think it's good. I really like it because obviously the eye appeal, the fact that soccer exclusive only came out once. There's a lot of reasons to really like it. I know some people don't like it specifically because of how expensive it got. So there's that out there as well. But I think it's come down quite a bit from where it used to be, and we're trying to find out where that leveling off point is going to be, which is hard when they sell so infrequently, especially in comparison to these other sets. But I do like it a lot for a lot of different reasons, but I understand why some people don't.
But I also think we are being a bit too negative for travel because we end up talking about, you know, and this is weird for us to rank travel, but I mean, it's relative because if you look, okay, I like Finest, and I think a lot of people like Finest. Man, the price of the cards are not comparable with Travel, honestly. So
yeah, the parallels for this set are
really
most expensive of any of these, unless you're talking about like super crazy Sapphire stuff. The parallels for this are way more expensive than these other sets.
I mean, the out of 25 Messi, I know is orange. But the PSA 8 is $200 or $300.
Yeah, for Finest, yes.
Try to buy the out of 25 Messi in travel. You need to pay 10x that, most likely, you know. So
yeah,
or more. I'm not sure, but it's quite more expensive, so it's tricky, honestly. I think. But then, for example, even if I'm saying that, I also agree that Topps Finest in general is a product that should be ahead of Trouble. I also agree that because have much more history is probably a little bit more reliable right now if you want to speculate. So there is no financial advice in any of these tiers. But if I had to tell people, should you guys buy Trouble or Topps Finest? Well, looking at entry point, maybe Finest, because Trouble exploded so much that if you want to buy a Messi, a Mbappe, you need to pay a lot for the variations. For Finest, probably not. They are not as rare. I think that's also a huge thing. But I don't know. It's a tricky one. I think Not Sure and Good probably will be my choices. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's of the ones on the list is one of the more unique ones and harder ones to rank. And I think that is also shown in people's opinions on it. You have people that really love the set. You have people that really don't like the set. And I think whatever it is, that's good for the market to have such strong opinions on a set like this.
Let's make one thing. I think this is basically the tier list that we kind of try to find a middle ground, right? That we try to agree. Make the list, forget all my opinions, adjust this to your list.
To what I would rank them personally?
Yeah. Forget your personal preference.
In personal preference, I would put this here. I think these are fine. This might be trash. Not sure where to put this. This is decent. Good. Probably something like this is what I would put my personal list as, and understanding that I'm just talking about like this now in comparison to Topps Chrome. Obviously, I would prefer 2017 over the 2019 Sapphire parallels, but for right now in the market, I think this is the best set from Topps in this sort of price range area. And yeah, I think the rest of this is where I would put them.
Okay, so if I had to do the list alone, I would take Topps Sapphire and put in Good. I would still keep in Good. I would Donruss's. I would put probably Trash. I really don't like Donruss's. I'm sorry. I would put Mosaic also in Trash. I also don't like it. Again, this is I'm realizing that I don't like Panini products in general. I guess Treble
products
is the exception. Merlin good, Treble good, Topps Stadium. Okay, Topps Stadium is the tricky one there because I also like it, but I'm not.
I don't think it's on the level of Merlin, but I don't think it's on the level of these sets here.
Okay, I would put Revolution Trash also. I'm trying to for people. I'm trying to be a little bit, just things, personal preference. I also don't think Donruss's is trash. I understand it's not, of course. I would put the Borussia. I know it's not Borussia, but trash also. I don't like for clubs, honestly. Select decent. Select, I'm pretty sure is well ranked. I think Select is decent. Gold, I think, is also decent, even though I don't know a lot. Okay, put the Stadium trash. No, not the stadium. The museum. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah, I forgot to move this. I don't like this as well. I really don't like that it's sticker autos and fake patches.
I don't like it. Yeah. Put Chronicles and Gold, not sure. I think I need to put those two, not sure, because I really don't know a lot. Okay, let's see. And put Stadium on the one tier below. I think that will be my list. Okay, yeah, I put on racism. Yeah, now looking again, this is a bit crazy, but no. But again, this will be my rank for sure. Topps Chrome Prism in a different level. Sapphire, Finest, Merlin, Treble. Inception, Obsidian. Inception and Obsidian being together kind of makes sense. The more I think about it, they have really nice cards, but I also think they lack a bit with other products. Select is perfect at this, and I really think is not a trash product, but yes, the only one I struggle a bit is Stadium, because I really like Stadium. No, but I think this looks okay. Yeah,
I think this is a hard one to rank, specifically because there's so many different Topses, and where do you sort of rank Stadium after all those?
No, yeah, for sure. The one I also think, okay, so I think the top two is quite easy.
I agree.
I also think you are correct about the Sapphire. So I also think Sapphire over the years can easily go to the God tier in my book. I also think a lot of people may not put Travel on good, and I also think that there is reasons for that. Yep. It's just one set. Yeah, I think some people may put Obsidian on good. Honestly, I think Obsidian it's kind of like the best Panini product for rookies nowadays.
I think depending who you talk to, Inception could be higher up as well, depending on what people think of it. Because I know there's people that really, really like those cards.
No, and the sets that are in good, I actually like all of them, honestly. I think Obsidian have nice cards. I also think Select have some nice cards. So I like all of them. Yeah, I think that's fine.
All right, perfect. So I guess those, if people wanted to screenshot them when they were up there, those were our lists that we had. We had a list that we made together, then we had my list, and then we had Andre's list as well. I can go ahead and leave this link somewhere in this video so you guys can fill out the list as well with what you guys think of all these different sets and where they line up. And with that, I guess we will go ahead and close off for this video. I thank Andre so much for hanging out with me. I think in the future we might have a conversation on his channel in regards to something like this and the work that we did in this, maybe in some more detail or something like that. But stay tuned for content on Soccer Study channel as well. Make sure you're subscribed there. And with that, like I said, I think we'll sign off unless Andre, you had anything else for us to talk about here.
No, I mean, yeah, no, it's fun. And all of these sets, the modern sets, look, apart from Chrome and Prism, I think all the other ones are still trying to find their place. I end up putting, for example, Chronicles, not sure. But maybe in 10 years, Chronicles could be a God tier set in soccer. It will depend a lot of what the Panini brand, the Tops brand, try to do in the future. And overall, and this is me being the most honest I can, I think most product looks quite nice in modern. Again, I think the problem with modern is sometimes it's very complicated to understand what's going on, but in general, I mean, they all of these brands are nice. So.
Yeah, the thing about modern that you talk about sometimes is the cards can always look really nice because it's modern product and modern product looks nice. So you sort of need something else to go along with it other than just nice looking cards, and that's sort of where it gets tough to rank them all. And that's why we hold Chrome and Prism as such high ones, because they're not just nice looking cards. There's a lot that goes into them.
Yeah, for example, the Inception one, I guess is a nice example. If you just like Inception because of the looks, man, I'm not saying is the worst reason ever, but I also don't think it's the best one, I also think, so I'm trying to make a case for Inception. I think Inception, for example, if it's a set that Tops potentially will make every year, so the first set automatic starts to gain some type of lore, some type of history, is actually, for example, for Messi, it most likely will be the only Messi cards with Barcelona at these Barcelona years, because I doubt Messi goes to Barcelona again, even though who knows. You can also make arguments that is short printed, not a lot of parallels. So if that's the logic you go by buying Inception, I think that's good. I think that's, who knows in the future. At the end of the day, this is all speculative. But if you are just buying, let's say, a random Select card because you think it's beautiful, that's a bit dangerous, in my opinion. Because you know what? Next year, there will be another Select card for that player that will be even more beautiful. And then what happens to the card you bought? If he's, let's say, if there is nothing there apart from that, if he's third year select. Because if you are buying the card that is really beautiful, but is the first year for select, you can always say, okay, maybe that one is more beautiful, but mine is the first year. So you need to add something there to, because all of this is about narratives. You know, if your narrative is weak, over time the narrative will go away.
Yeah, that's a lot of what the modern products are. Is each of the sets has to find what narrative it's going to go for. And so, for example, like when we talk about Inception, I really like the book cards with the 2 players on it. So if it can just be the set that is known for having those and having some crazy dual autos that we don't see in other sets, then I think that's really good for a set like that.
Yeah, I mean, think about the Prism or Top Scrum, but Top Scrum is even easier to explain to people, in my opinion.
Yep.
Why people love the first Top Scrum so much? Well, I already said the first Top Scrum. That's one of the reasons. It's like everyone watching this video put things in perspective this way, because this happens a lot in TCGs. Let's say in 10 years, in 20 years, they are still making Top Scrum for soccer. I think that's a possibility, honestly. I mean, especially with Fanatics, I think 10 years, even though it's difficult to predict this type of stuff, who knows what will happen with the world, etc. But there is a possibility there that in 10 years, Top Scrum is still a relevant product, or still a product that comes every year for soccer. What do you guys think will happen with the first set for Top Scrum? That set will gain a lot of history. That set will gain a lot of lore around that. Oh, but you remember the first one. Again, also, and James knows this very well, is most likely all the new Top Scrum, they will have a crazy number of parallels, a crazy number of shiny cards that do crazy stuff. And Top Scrum 2017 was kind of basic, you know? Yeah, you have what? Green, blue, purple, orange, red, and the 1-of-1. That's it. You know, there is nothing more. It's just again.
I think there's like 40. I think there's 40 parallels now. In just the most recent set, I think there's 40.
Yeah, if you think about that, no one knows all of the parallels, you know. And
you don't know the orange bubbles, the orange lava.
But think about, look at that lava. What is that? Yeah. You know, it's just crazy.
No, orange starball though. That one's new too.
But by the way, this is the same for Panini. Panini is also doing a lot of them, because again, they need to increase the number of parallels, because the products, they have a higher print run, so they also have to put more parallels, and yeah, gets crazy.
But yeah, that's the never-ending expansion of the parallels, because they have to produce more and more product to keep up with demand. So as we continue, at least from what we understand now, you either have to increase the number of product lines, or you have to increase the number of parallels in your one product line. And so they're doing a bit of both right now, which is what leads to having all these different sets. And it'll be interesting to see what Fanatics comes up with as the way to sort of counter the demand that we've been seeing.
No, for sure.
Alrighty. Like I said, feel free to go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, all that fun stuff. The link to this tiers list will be in the description. Feel free to make your own and shoot it over to myself or Andre, and we'll look forward to reading through those. Discord link in the description as well. We can talk about the tiers list there. Maybe we'll have a separate channel for it or something like that to go through. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.